Welcome back to Yahoo Finance Live. I'm Brian Sozzi, and it's almost time to pull out the old swim trunks and suntan lotion, hit the road for a summer vacation. The summer travel season will come against the backdrop of a slowing U.S. economy and nagging inflation. Concerns about the debt ceiling aren't helping sentiment around travel either. Let's check in with Expedia Group CEO Peter Kern. Peter, always great to get some time with you here. We're getting ready for the heart of the summer travel season. From your perspective, what are you seeing in terms of demand?
Well, I think it's already summer, so you should get your swim trunks out and get going. But we're seeing a ton of demand. Obviously, a big pickup, you've probably heard, in international travel this summer as international trends have come back. So lots of demand domestically, lots of demand internationally. Still not all of the airlift back across the world, so still some tightness in supply and air. And, unfortunately, that means prices are going to stay high for the summer.
Peter, how do trends in the business compare today or compare them to pre-pandemic levels?
Yeah, a lot of trends have actually returned to kind of pre-pandemic levels. When you look at the splits between domestic and international, when you look at the splits between big city versus beaches and mountains, which were, popular during COVID as getaway places. And we also saw a big stretch of duration of stay, length of stay during COVID, where people were basically fully hybrid or, weren't going in the office, so you could go work for a month from wherever if you could afford to. And so those trends have all basically returned to pre-pandemic, which is length of stay has shrunk. Big cities are back in a big way, and everything's kind of normalized, international to domestic. There's still a few spots. China's not fully back, parts of Asia, but generally things are returning to pretty much pre-pandemic normals.
Why are the prices climbing?
Why are the prices high? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Well, it's a supply. Well, first of all, we had several years of inflation. We had more demand than supply. There's still demand outstripping supply. When you think of, we think there's been a structural change and more people just want to travel generally. It's not revenge travel anymore. It's just more travel as opposed to spending money on other things. And you've still, as I mentioned, got pockets where supply is not back fully. So prices were driven higher when there was tons of revenge travel, tons of inflation, and they got to a point, and now they're basically holding because demand has stayed up. And if you think about air travel, there's a little less supply in the world, so they can keep prices high. And in the hotel world, hotels have generally been willing to trade off a little volume for price because getting employees is harder. There's other issues. So we've seen, hotels, airlines, et cetera, sustain price. Car rentals a little different. Car supply has come back, and those prices have come down considerably. But certainly in hotel and in air, they're staying pretty high.
How long could this recovery in leisure travel continue? And I ask you that, Peter, because today we get an earnings report from a Walmart, yesterday Target, and they're telling us that consumers are very cautious, so cautious that they're maybe not putting an extra pair of socks or another pair of bathing suits into their shopping basket because inflation is so high.
Yeah, look, I think so far, again, we're not seeing any signs of it. I think it's clear that people are prioritizing travel over many other things. I don't know about socks, but, I think it appears like it will sustain itself. And I think people, again, have slightly more time, not as much time as during COVID, but with hybrid work, there's a little more time for leisure travel. There's a lot of, factors going into it, but I think so far, and this is really across the globe, we're not seeing any real downturns from anything that we would all call, economic pressure. So will it sustain itself forever? Who knows? But depending on the depth of any, economic pressure we get, et cetera, it appears like travel will remain the top of the list of what people want to spend on. And that means, we should see travel and leisure travel hold up. Corporate travel is slightly different, but certainly in the leisure space, it's been incredibly strong.
Last time we talked, Peter, it sounded like you were getting ready to launch a new awards program. And I know a lot of the analysts in the street are excited to think about what that might mean to your bottom line. Where are you in that?
Yeah, so I'm even more excited than the analysts. So we are launching in July in the US. It's called One Key. It will encompass our big three brands, Expedia, Hotels.com, and Vrbo, and you'll be able to earn cash, burn cash. We're calling it One Key Cash across all of the products. So you can take a cruise and earn points and use it for vacation rental, vice versa, hotel, air, et cetera. So we're really excited about it. It's the first of its kind. We obviously have a huge member base, and we think putting the member bases together, and in vacation rentals, there hasn't even been a way to get rewarded. So now this will be the first real rewards program for vacation rental, which we think is really powerful for Vrbo. And even more importantly, the fact that you'll be able to share across all the brands, and we'll take that whole consumer base and be able to give them more benefits, more member discounts. We're sourcing more high-level discounts for people. There's going to be more package discounts. So there's a lot of benefits coming, and we're really excited. So we're launching that July 6th. Going to have a big party in New York. You should come, and it's going to be great.
Well, you know my email, Peter. By all means, send the invite. And maybe when I do come to that party, we could talk about your AI initiatives. You, along with a lot of other companies, are teaming up with or looking into ChatGPT. What are you doing there, and how will AI change the travel experience?
Yeah, well, first of all, we got to work on your party game, because if you want to talk about AI at a party, we have an issue. But putting that aside, we're really excited about AI. We've been working in the space for a long time, and as I said on our earnings call and many other calls, we've been working the space to enhance the consumer proposition for years, and that goes into every big and little thing you see, whether it's what images we show you, how we sort and filter for you, and a bunch of other things. But the onset of large language models, and ChatGPT in particular, was exciting to us. As I say, we stayed in the front foot on AI for a long time, and when that came, we really got after it to see how we could use it to enhance the consumer experience. So the first place we've experimented with is we have a plugin into ChatGPT, and people can be in ChatGPT, ask travel questions, get recommendations from ChatGPT, and then click off into our environment. Now that's only for the developer universe and the paid universe, so it's not available to everybody yet. But we were basically the first in travel to get there. And then the inverse is maybe more exciting. We brought ChatGPT into our app, our iOS app, and we're basically allowing people to use ChatGPT to ask, where should I stay near the Empire State Building or near the Eiffel Tower? What are the best hotels near? Whatever. They can ask a bunch of questions. And then as they get recommendations, we save those recommendations to our trip planning products, and you can go in and search and compare and do all those things. But there's lots more potential for that, and we are looking at interesting ways to use ChatGPT to help in service, perhaps help people in search and sort if they want to ask longer, bigger questions. So there's really a lot of areas where it has application, and we're working closely with ChatGPT and looking at ways where we can utilize the technology.
As a leader working so closely with AI, Peter, I know there's some very interesting initiatives. Bigger picture, do you have any concerns how AI impacts the economy over time?
Yeah, we've watched a lot. I've watched a lot of the debates. I think they're really interesting, and obviously there are implications for humanity. And I know people like to get focused on the political environment and other places where it can be used or perhaps abused. I think many have said, including Sam Altman, that probably regulation will be required, and I think that's a healthy thing. But I think when people think about it, they get over biased towards all of those dramatic stories. There are a lot of really, really good applications that don't take jobs away, don't change the political climate, that really just enhance people's experiences with products that we use every day or try to use every day. And I think if you think about all the ways that can enhance people's experience, if searching's complicated, there's all kinds of applications of people with that are have disabilities or other challenges. So there's a lot of great uses and utility to really enhance what people are doing as opposed to replace what people are doing. So I think in our environment, it's a perfect example. We had to build guardrails for ChatGPT so that it would only answer travel questions. We didn't want it to get into other things with our consumers. We're not interested in answering those problems. So you have to, you can't just set it free and see what happens. You have to use it for a particular application. But if used in the right ways, we think it's incredibly valuable to enhancing a consumer experience, our workers' experience, our service personnel will be able to use it someday. And we're constantly working to enhance those things. So if this helps us do better, that'll be great.
Well, when I see you at that party in New York City, Peter, we have bathing suits and artificial intelligence to talk about. Expedia Group CEO Peter Kern, always good to see you. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Brian. Look forward to your bathing suit recommendations. Thanks.
I'm just going to show up wearing it. Peter Kern, thanks so much.